Finally, the lights in the house were turned out and the music turned down. "The dogs must be inside," said Coyote. So Kato and Coyote slowly crept up to the house with their tails low against the ground. Kato spotted the red Jeep and whispered to Coyote, "See that? That's what they drove me in from my old home." Coyote whispered back that he often saw the red machine leave the house. "Sometimes the people take the dogs with them, and that's when I sneak into the yard to get some funny-looking chickens with what looks like a hat on top of their heads. They lay blue eggs that are really delicious." The two continued slowly, inching their way up onto the front porch, staying very close to the floor and keeping their tails down. After reaching the side of the house, they rose up on their hind legs to look in through a low window. Suddenly 4 dogs looked at them from indoors through the window. "Woof, woof, woof, woof!" Lights came on inside the house, and Kato and Coyote saw Tori's dad run to the front door carrying something long, narrow, and dark. Coyote said, "Let's get out of here." Scared, they both ran wildly into the dark. A door opened and they saw a bright flash of light followed by a tremendous exploding bang. Coyote let out a yelp, leaped into the air, and disappeared into the night. The air had a strange smell that Kato did not recognize. His little legs carried him as fast as they could. He ran down the steps, turned left towards the red Jeep, and dove underneath the car. No more loud explosions were heard from the front porch, but Tori's dad yelled something loud. Kato climbed behind the front wheel up into the Jeep. It felt warm. His rust-colored nose wrinkled and he almost sneezed. While crawling amongst thin wires, pipes, and odd shapes, he finally found a spot that was not too bumpy. With paws tucked under his chest, he lay down and wrapped his tail alongside his body. After a while, Kato's heart slowed down. He took in a deep breath and sighed. Inside the Jeep, it was warm and dark. How was he going to get into the house safely to find Tori? In the distance, he heard a howl and knew right away that his friend Coyote was okay. The dogs stopped barking. The porch lights were turned out. All was dark and silent now. He was exhausted. His eyes closed. The Jeep's engine cooled as the night wore on. Kato began to shiver. He wondered if it was safe to leave the Jeep. Was Tori's family angry at him or Coyote? He missed his sister and wondered how she was. Kato listened for a while but heard nothing, so he slowly crept down through the wires and pipes. Then he stopped, wrinkled his nose, and sneezed. Hearing nothing, Kato jumped down onto the ground. It was cold and dark outside, but Kato could see the steps going up to the porch. Slowly he walked up the steps and over to the window to look in. No dogs or people were in sight. Kato began to think about the delicious food that Mama prepared the day that he got lost. How long ago was that, he wondered. If only they knew I was here by myself and hungry. Kato meowed softly. Meow. Nothing moved and no sounds were heard. He stretched his tail straight up and looked inside as far as he could see. He meowed louder. Again nothing. He cried out the third time. Nothing. Kato could smell smoke from the chimney as he moved to another window on the porch. Again he looked inside and meowed. Nothing. He meowed and meowed and meowed, but no one came. Some clucking noises came from the dark in back of the house. Walking through the trees up a small hill, Kato found a fence in front of a small building. Suddenly a large white bird ran directly towards him on the other side of the fence. The bird made low clucking noises as it moved its head from side to side alongside the fence and dug into the ground with its feet. Kato jumped back from the fence and realized he was safe. The bird followed him, saying, "Bark, bark, 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 bark." Kato smiled and kept walking along the fence. After a short while, he noticed another small building outside the fence and walked towards it. He listened and sniffed the air near the door, but there was no sound inside the building. So Kato stepped through the small door. The building was empty except for a small bowl of water and something crunchy that tasted good. He ate every scrap of food and drank all the water. When he was full, he looked around and saw a bit of straw on a shelf. So he climbed up to it and curled into a ball. Then he put his front paws over his eyes and fell sound asleep.